A very good evening to everyone present here. Before starting the meeting, instructions for the participants. Please mute yourself while the presentation is ongoing. In the active session, the participant can unmute and reply to questions. We expect your active participation today. All participants are requested to stay till the end of today's lecture as we will sharing you feedback form. Thank you. Brian Hubbard quoted that the capacity to learn is a gift, the ability to learn is a skill, the willingness to learn is a choice. On that note, I, Anushka Pillai from Parul University, on behalf of Research Culture Society and Scientific Research Association and the organizing committee members, Dr. C.M. Patel, Director, Research Culture Society, Ms. Jaya Chetwani, counselor and special educator Pune, and Dr. Jessica, founder of Scientific Research Association, welcome you for the one-week short-term training program on developing personal improvement through soft skills. A short note about the STTP. Soft skills are personal attributes, personality traits, inherent social cues, and communication abilities needed for success. Soft skills include adaptability, attitude, communication, creative thinking, work ethic, teamwork, decision making, positivity, time management, motivation, flexibility, problem solving, critical thinking, and conflict resolution. Soft skills training can mean the difference between assertive action versus aggressive action. Soft skills, a vital portion of an individual's personality, is an intangible idea in which the qualities like attitude, ability, integrity, reliability, positivity, flexibility, dependability, punctuality, management, cooperation, habits, and practices are combined proficiently to capitalize on a person's work efficacy. Soft skills do the work of combining all these components in accurate, share into skills and shaping them into competencies. You will learn about confidence and enthusiasm for learning, developing self motivation, raised aspirations and belief in one's own abilities, defining and committing to achieving one's goals. Develop effective interpersonal communication, leadership, more emotional and social skills. Develop all round personality with a mature outlook to function effectively in different circumstances. Now, we would like to show you a short video about our Research Culture Society. I would request Sir to start the video message.
Warm greetings to all. Research Culture Society is a government registered international scientific research organization. Society is working for the research community at national and international level to impart quality and non-profitable services. Our members are scholarly educationists from various universities and institutes of repute. Here, the faculties, research scholars, and students interested in the area of research are given guidance and support in how their work can support to the betterment of our present and future generations. Research Culture Society is conducting conferences, seminars, symposiums, workshops, training and development programs on different themes. Society has organized 100 plus educational programs and seminars on different themes. Society has organized workshops, training and development programs on different themes. Society has organized 100 plus educational programs and seminars on different themes. Society has organized 100 plus educational programs and seminars on different themes. For further inquiry, visit our website and also connect by email. Thank you all.
I would like to introduce our today's research person, Dr. Nancy Gandhi, Assistant Professor, Placement Coordinator, Parul University, Vadodara, Gujarat, India. Dr. Nancy Gandhi is presently working as an assistant professor since 2016. She is pursuing PhD in obstetrics and gynecology. She has 7 years of experience in with more than 8 research papers at national and international level. She has guided 8 candidates for masters in field, and she is a lifetime member of her field and secretary members of human rights and women child welfare organizations, member of Indian Association of Physiotherapy and Gujarat Council for Physiotherapists, lifetime member of Baroda Physio Club, PG Guide for Parul University, honored as a chairperson and judge at various national state level physiotherapy conferences. I would now request to ma'am to take over the session and start with the lecture. Thank you.
Good evening, all of you. Today we'll start with. Okay. Good evening, all of you. Today we'll start with the other topic, that is how you are going to make your effective resume or CV, effective presentation, what are the planning and plotting, and professionalism. What are the outline that we need to cover over here is professionalism, the importance of first impression, listening skill concepts, positive and effective communication, professional boundaries, work home balance. The other outline that I need to cover over here is making effective presentation, understanding your assignment, planning your presentation, organizing your presentation, practicing and delivering. The other outline which I need to cover over here is planning and preparing and how we are going to make effective resume or CV. Resume versus CV, what is the difference between both? How important is your resume oblique CV? The 5 P's of resume, outline of particular presentation. We'll move towards the professionalism. Now, what about professionalism? When we are going to build a reputation, 5 minutes to run it, if you think about that, you will do things differently. Someone said very truly, when we are going to build a particular reputation related to professionalism, it will develop your professional attitude towards the society. Now, which 3 components we are going to cover over here is altitude, power of 3, and emotional IQ. The importance of first impression, that is about 55% of your body language, 38% of tone of voice, and 7% words what we are going to use over here. Okay, so first impression will be covered, that is related to importance of your first impression is covering with 55%, 38% and 7%. So 3 elements are going to cover. Effective listening techniques. When we are consider a full attention, here you can highlight the particular component that full attention is needed, maintain eye contact and concentration, open mind, solution, asking question, understand the student oblique co-worker to ask clarifying question. Whenever the effective listening techniques are there, we need to give full attention related to topics or subject. We should clear with our mind, desk or hand. Face the speaker and maintain eye contact, and concentration power will be more. Whenever you are listening to someone, you will be with open mind only. We need to avoid the interruption. We are going to suggest this solution too soon. It can be frustrating to the speaker. We are going to ask to the question to particular audience as well as who is the speaker. The acknowledgement related to understanding of the student as well as co-worker. We are going to wait for the speaker to pause and asking about clarifying the questions. So effective listening techniques are there where we are going to cover full attention. We are going to cover concentration, which is very mandatory. We are going to ask two particular question related to that topic. So we make sure that awareness is there. Okay, alertness is there. How we are going to cover the other listening techniques is we are going to question, do questioning with ensuring that understanding is proper. We are going to ask the question for other reason that it leads to getting off topic and inefficient use of time. Try to fill out that what speaker is feeling about. It is with joy or sadness or fearful, etc. We are going to facilitate the empathy and better communication. Give the speaker regular feedback. Pay attention to what isn't said, to non-verbal cues. Body language should be proper. Inefficient use of time is when person is off the topic, person is on the topic. The effective listening techniques we need to focus on. Now, what are the positive and effective verbal communication? See, when we focus on particular positive and effective verbal communication, there are the positive topics are there, where we are going to cover the complex word versus simple word. We are going to avoid worthy phrases. Okay, we keep in mind that it should be simple, direct, understandable. Better communications are needed. It is to increase efficiency. Complex word versus simple word. Okay, your abbreviations are there, your shortening are there, your aggregates are there, total feasible versus possibilities are there, optimum versus best are there. Okay, so this is about your complex word as well as simple word, what we are going to use to make it more prone towards the effective communication, where we are going to focus only verbal communication, how it will effective and how it will be positive. We are going to use or we are going to avoid the wordy phrases. That is because due to fact, you may know, general rule, generally, as a matter of fact versus in fact, you may not know. Keep it as simple, as direct, as understandable, so person can able to listen it properly with better communication. Better communications are needed, that is to increase efficiency. So this is about our positive and effective verbal communication. Now, what are the professional boundaries? What we are going to cover, we have total 6 elements are there to cover professional boundaries. Relationships are there, communications are there, self-disclosure, exploitation, breaches of confidentiality, manage your time. When we need to cover the professional boundaries, your professional boundaries need to be track how you are going to use your time, plan your days according to professionalism, embrace small necessary interruptions, pamper yourself first, set aside a whole day or evening for particular fun, scheduling your daily activity as in terms of professional ethics. We need to set or we need to correlate with professional ethics in a much way that we are going to schedule our daily activity along with some fun. Now, when we focus on work-home balance, so it is very much needed, or you can say it is very effective for our regular routine. It is very efficient for our regular routine. Okay, manage your time, track how you use your time, plan your days according to that, embrace small necessary interruptions, pamper yourself, set aside a whole day or evening for fun, scheduling your daily activities, take a break when you become frustrated. See, your work and home balance will be very mandatory for those who are regularly doing their work at home as well as at work area. Managing a time is very important. You are going to track your timing related to your work. You are going to plan your days according to work as well as home balancing are there. Some fun should be there. So we are going to see, we are going to set our routine according to fun as well. Okay, we are going to schedule daily activities. We need to take a break when we become frustrated. Now, what about the professionalism? Here we are going to cover Self estimation should be there. We need to determine particular value. We need to leave personal unexpected feeling at the door prior to entering the workplace, because professionalism is very mandatory to balance professionalism. We need to balance between home as well as work area. So we are going to cover the whole as in terms of first expression. The other area that we need to cover over here is effective listening techniques. The other we are going to cover over here is positive and effective verbal communication. Professional boundaries are there. Work home balance are there. Okay, so this is about the summary of professionalism, how we are going to pay attention related to communication, related to professionalism. Here we have one video that I'll share after my presentation. Okay, how we are going to make the effective presentation. See, your strategies, your small steps are there, your manageable tasks are there for effective presentation. Preparing a particular presentation that can be overwhelming experience if you allow it to be one. Whatsoever presentation we are going to make it, it should be small, it should be brief in a way that you are going to elaborate. Your strategies should be proper, your steps are mandatory. We are going to provide to help you break down what you might view as a large job into a smaller and more manageable task are there to make that particular presentation effective and efficient. How you are going to understand your particular assignment. See, already we have covered the outline related to presentation. To make effective presentation that you need to cover over here is understanding your assignment, planning your presentation, organizing your presentation, practicing and delivering, how you are going to deliver. So first we'll start with understanding your assignment. Either it will be your group or individual presentations are there where we are going to focus on particular assignment. So we share over here is group discussion. It should be in a group discussion or it should be in an individual. So you are going to write down the particular content or subject related topic. You ask them to complete in a group or you ask them to complete in an individual way. The particular time limits are there. The requirement, what are needed, that should be fulfilled. Being speaker or being teacher. If we are going to allow to particular using a video, it can be mandatory with your assignment. Video should be proper in a way or it should be justified. Instructors generally do not want video to take up a big portion of your presentation, but short video can help to illustrate a point. So we should make a particular short video based on the reality, not the animated videos are welcomed. What are topic that we are going to cover over here? You are going to choose it in that way that person or a student can able to make a particular assignment. It is effective for their exams or it is effective for their choices. So that is about understanding your assignment. What we need to cover, we are going to highlight some area that we are going to cover over here is prepare a visual component, purpose of presentation, summarizing, presenting a paper, particular argument, leading discussion. So understanding your assignment, either you need or you require PowerPoint presentation or a poster presentation to prepare a visual component. Okay, what are the purpose of that particular presentation? How you are going to summarize with your classmates. When you are going to make a particular presentation with assignment, are you using a paper or not? When you are going to convince to some or the other topic, you are going to use it in that way that it is related to issue or it is related to only argument. Okay. And last but not the least, are you leading discussion on a reading? Okay. So you are going to lead to that particular topic, that should be mandatory. So the assignment criteria and components, what we need to cover and we are going to highlight over here is group or individual presentation, time limit or requirement, to use a particular video. Either it should be in a short and a brief way. Your topic you will be presenting on. Prepare a visual component such as PowerPoint presentation or poster or the other tools which is related to ICT tools what we are going to use. Purpose of presentation: summarizing, presenting a paper, particular arguments are there, leading discussions are there. That is related to topic. Now, how you are going to plan your presentation? The second component, plan your presentation. See, careful planning are needed. Why? Because the good presentation require a careful planning and plotting and execution must be there when you are going to go through your presentation. Your brainstorming and outline related to topic. Okay, how you are going to complete your topic and what you are going to brief to particular topic, what already audience is aware related to that presentation, and what you are going to give idea about that presentation. If you are using a research related, use research to support your argument. You will find the particular example and statistics, or you are going to learn more about particular topic. Write an outline, write a draft, plan any visual aid such as PowerPoint or any activity that you want to your audience to participate in. Practice or they practice. See, here you are going to cover only practice related activity with your presentation. So it should be in activity way, it should be in a task oriented way that we are going to present over here. Okay, planning your presentation. Organizing your presentation. When we complete with this particular element, we have three other components. How you are going to begin, what is the body, and what are the conclusions. So here you can see the beginning, the central, and the conclusion, that is your end. Okay, so good presentation should be well organized with a beginning, middle, and the end. How you are going to organize your presentation? In beginning of your presentation, it is very mandatory that you are going to grab the audience attention and tone of your presentation, which is very must, and it should be clear in a way. Okay, use an attention grabber. The other thing that we are going to cover over here is thought provoking questions. We are going to ask some question related to presentation, that is to grab their attention. The grabbing techniques, what we are going to use over here is thought provoking questions, showing the audience and pictures, telling a story, or use a real life example related to your topic. You can use different short videos, you can use different thought process, you can use different tools where you are going to grab attention to the audience. Introduce yourself and the topic you will be discussing. So basically we'll start with the outline related to topic, what you are going to cover or what you are going to talking about. That should be with beginning in a way. What about body? What main part or main points that we are going to cover in a logical order? That should be in a discussion part. It should be clear to your audience that when you are moving from one point to another, use different example to support your points. If I'll make one presentation related to effective presentation, if I'll ask here audience to make the effective presentation related to COVID-19, so what you people are going to make over here, that should be with outline, that should be with body and the end, and we'll do this task after this presentation over here. Okay, we have the other component that is related to conclusion. Summarize the main point. The additional question are welcome. If you are going to think your research related to particular topic, so information is needed. Use language that lets your audience know your presentation is coming to the end. Avoid ending with that is okay or apologizing for your presentation. Thank the audience for listening and invite questions. Invite the questions are very mandatory. So you can give the related idea or the elaborated idea related to your presentation. If they have any questions related to your presentation, they can ask. They are welcome. So conclusion in a that way that you are going to summarize all your points. You are going to ask to the audience that whatsoever questions are there, it is welcome. Now, how you are going to practicing or you are going to deliver a particular lecture. Here you can use a word lecture also. You are going to use a word presentation also. Most people spend hours preparing a presentation but very little time practicing on it. Okay, when you practice your presentation, you can reduce the number of time. See, I'm repeating again and again, okay. That should be avoidable. Okay, the other thing what we are going to cover over here is like, well, the habit can easily diminish a speaker credibility. You can also fine tune your content to be sure you make your most important points in a time allotted. In addition to planning the content of your presentation, you need to give advanced thought to how you want to deliver it. Do you want to commit your presentation to memory, use cards to guide you, or read from a script? You might want to use a combination of methods. See, here we are going to use the different combination related to how we are going to practice it and how we are going to deliver to the audience. To help you decide, read the advantage and disadvantage for four delivering method. How we are going to deliver a particular lecture or particular presentation. Speaking from memory, we have the intermediate memory, we have the long term and short term memory. See, when we are making a presentation, if it is related to more than 24 hours, it will be your intermediate memory. It will be your intermediate memory as well, where we are going to recall it. Speaking from notes, where we are going to refer during delivering a particular presentation, we are going to refer it and then read it. That is your speaking from notes. The other thing, that is speaking from text. Whatsoever presentations are there related to that particular topic, person is only reading and reading. That is speaking from text. Using a combination method. See, here you can correlate with different graphical presentation, or you can correlate with table, or you can correlate with different example, where we are going to use related topics in a combination of particular method, where person can able to recall it properly, person can easily understand your presentation. So four techniques we are going to cover over here to deliver a particular topic, that is related to advantage and disadvantage. Speaking from memory, speaking from notes, speaking from text, and the other thing is using a combination of method. Task activity. A small introductory presentation we are going to cover over here, that is related to COVID symptoms. How we are going to cover, that will be later on we will cover. Here is the other outline. Outline related to planning and preparing effective resume or CV. What we are going to cover over here is what is the difference between resume and CV? How important is your resume or CV? What are the 5 P's of resume and outline of presentation? How we are going to cover the planning and preparing of effective resume. What are the basic difference between your resume and CV? In resume, we are going to include 1 or 2 page summary of related to education, related to skills, related to experience, brief and concise. No more than 2 or 3 pages are there for your resume. In CV, we are going to cover this synopsis related to our education, related to our skills, related to our experiences. Here you can include your or professional publication, presentation, affiliation, academic and non-academic, curricular related activities, whatsoever your achievements are there, you are going to put in a detailed way, that is with CV, where we are going to put in a brief way, that is with your resume. So what is the basic difference between both is, when we are covering a resume, that will be with 1 or 2 page. When we are covering a CV, that will be more than 2 pages, because it is detail of your academic, detail of your profile. We are going to use applying for academic, education, scientific or research position, your hybrid resume or CV. It is combination that we are going to include research, publication, etc. Okay. What is the basic difference between both is, when there is a job related area or there is a company related interviews are there, in first meeting we are going to give them a resume. After clarification of your first meeting, your resume will clear over there, and they will give you the idea related to their company experiences and their company, and they are asking you for detailed CV, where we are going to put our detailed CV. So that is the basic difference between both, where we are going to cover our resume and where we are going to represent our curriculum vitae. How important is your resume or CV? You never get a chance or second chance to make a first impression. That is, everyone is aware about that first impression is your first beginning, and first beginning is your effective beginning will be there. Okay, so you never get a second chance to make a first impression. Never truer when you submit your resume. This is likely the first glimpse of you that being employed will make it impressive one. A great resume can open a door, but inferior one can just as a quickly close one. Your resume is nothing but between the other opportunity. It is just you, that you are going to represent you in a very well way. Okay. When we are going to cover, or where we are going to cover the academic, the professional, the publication, the research. So basically it is covering whole your profile related to your profession. Now what are the 5 P's of particular resume? It is painless, perfect and proofreading. Page 1 or 2 pages are there. Paper resume, paper subtle color and pattern, position specific to the position. When we cover, it is a painless, easy to read, well organized, use bold to make things stand out, and use same font type throughout. Intent 2 to 3 levels only. Perfect proofreading for spelling, for grammar, consistent with punctuation, no personal pronunciations are there. Page 1 or 2 pages is the best. 0.75 or zero point 0.5 margins are efficient. No smaller, make sure all slides are consistent. Paper resume, paper subtle, color or pattern. It is 24 pound. If mail, do not fold it. Use large envelope. Position specific to the position you are applying for. Use keywords from job description only. So this is very mandatory. Your 5 P's are making your job very effective. Outlines of your presentation that you are going to cover over here is heading, your section title, your objective, your education, experience, CV content, leadership and involvement, honor, awards, professional organization, interests and references. In heading, you are going to cover what sort of presentations you are going to cover over here. That is related to your effective CV or effective resume. Section title, what are your choices and what are your effective criteria, or what are your, effective subjects that you need to put in a front. What are your main objective behind that particular job? What is your education and what are your experiences? What are CV content? That is related to leadership and involvement, where you are going to keep your interest. Your honor, your awards and professional organization. If you are affiliated with some or the other university, you can mention over there with honor, awards and professional organization. Your interest level related to cultural activity or the other part that you are going to cover with job aspects, and the references whom you are going to make a refer person. See, Here you can see the heading related to area, what we are going to cover. Now, what are the objective versus profile? Why we are going to cover the objective versus profile is what we are going to put the objective, that is specific statement related to what you are going to applying for. Either it will be related to, some or the other condition or some or the other specialty. Say for example, being neuro faculty, being neurophysiotherapy faculty, I am going to apply as a neurophysiotherapist. So that is my more prone towards the objective, that I am applying for this particular position only. What about my profile and summary? That is detailed strength, experiences, interest, skill that one has to offer the employer. That is being employment. When we are going to cover the neurophysiotherapist, so more prone towards that particular area related to neurophysiotherapist, what are my profiles and what are my summary related to strength and weaknesses over here, related to experiences, related to interest level, whole we are going to cover related to only neurophysiotherapy, because that is my more prone and more focused objective. Now, what good objective statement example over here is seeking a quality small animal internship where mentorship is at the forefront in order to strengthen my clinical and communication skill while also serving as an asset to client, patient, and the practice. To become an integral part of ABC, animal clinical practicing, ethical medicine, valuing client and providing the highest level of care for patient. See, these are the good objective statement example. Like this way, we are going to put our objective in different example. Now, where we are going to cover our profile. It can be called as a profile, it can be called as a summary or professional summary, where we are going to give the overview or detail of who you are and what you are going to offer, what you have to offer. Make the reader want to learn more. Okay, so it should be in a professional way only. Profile statement. Goal-oriented student with broad experiences in small animal medicine, exotic and shelter medicine, fluent in Spanish and travel abroad to conduct research, keen insight into a managing client relationship, willing to work a flexible schedule and open to relocation. How you are going to state to relate it to your objective. See, these are the example that we are going to cover related to person is with animal medicine and he is going to join a job related to animal condition. Energetic professional ready for a dynamic position in a equine medicine, gain considerable knowledge through vigorous education, externship, and senior relation to the large animal stream. Now, what are the educational part that we are going to cover that is related to the particular area? See, here in whole profile, they have covered related to the animal internship, animal medicine, okay, animal clinic practice. So that is main objective. So related to that objective, what are the educations that it is covered over here? See, Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, Bachelor of Science in Animal Sciences. See, this is the example. Same way you are going to correlate with yours. Now, what are the qualification that we are going to cover? Passion for behavior medicine, skilled in handling aggression, anxiety, and compulsive behavior, experience in dental cleaning, extraction, and procedure, extensive client service background, background in research and teaching. These are the qualifications. Summary of accomplishment, skill, and interest. Whatsoever skills are there, whatsoever interests are there, that we need to focus in terms of summary. Showcases what makes you stand out, make the reader want to see where you gain the skill, can be easily altered to fit different position. The power of section title. Veterinary experiences or small animal experience, equine experience, exotic experience, shelter medicine, externship, international experience, professional experience. So these are the power of section title. See, already we are going to covering whole the outline of particular presentation. it should be in a that way that we are going to cover all the component along with one profession that is related to your animal clinic, ABC, animal clinic medicine. Okay. Now CV section and title. Your research experiences are there, your teaching experiences are there, your publication, presentation and poster, what you are going to cover. So we'll give the brief idea related to all components. The experiences, it is in a chronological way that with most recent first within each category and headings. Use action words. We are going to present or past tense, past job in a past tense, present job in a present tense. If we are going to cover, we are going to cover the whole area related to our job. Either it will be with past or it will be with present. We are going to use the particular tense in a way. Okay. The other thing with what we are going to cover over here is practice and organization. Bold. Often titles are fairly similar. If you have interesting titles, you might switch and have your title bold to stand out. We are going to focus some or the other components which should be put it in a focused way. Okay. City, state list only, city and state. Include dates usually based on the right side of the resume. It is very mandatory, guys. Showcase your skills. What did you do? What are going to observe and what you are assisting with? What are the volunteer and externship? Do you list out all of your jobs, like whatsoever past jobs are there, or you also list out that particular job also with present scenario? Your additional experiences. Additional experiences section is helpful for several reasons. You might not have enough space on your resume to list everything. Great to show a strong history of work ethics. The other experiences beside veterinary medicine. Okay, so section you can choose in a that way that it should be in a self-explanatory. You could point a bullet points on the description. The leadership and involvement. What to list in a leadership and involvement, where you are going to put or you are going to suppose to make a leadership that is related to title or your experiences as well. The other involvements are there. If you have led some or the other company or you have given some mentorship related to your leadership criteria, so you can put it in a that way, or you have represent some or the other company, so some part or some sort of involvements are there related to your area, so you can mention in that way. Don't always need explanation. Now we move towards the honor, awards, scholarship, professional organization. This should be in a combined section where we are going to put some awards related to undergraduation education or the other condition or in a field. If it is related to students area, if it is related to being faculty area, like that way you are going to, divide it. Do not always need explanation or dates. Sometimes they are helpful to bring relevance to the reader for including them. What are your interested parts or what are your interests? That should be in a positive way, that's short of my interest level, a good thing. Listing a few interests help explain to the employee who you are and gives you more to a personal feel. They show you have interests outside of other than veterinary medicine and help from the connections. What are the references? References you should always put on a separate page. Resume heading, 3-4 qualified people, ask first and prepare them. Ask first is related to you should call them that I am going to put your name or your reference being my CV person, being an employee. Should I? Like that way you are going to ask to the particular fellow and then you are going to put them in a reference, because without their permission we are not going to keep anyone. Okay, so this is about references. That's all from my side, and now we are going to cover the task oriented activity. I'll have one video related to my outline. I would request a technical person.
Professionalism in the workplace. This meeting is being recorded. Make being on time a priority. Being late for work or meetings gives the impression that you are unprepared and don't care about your job. Not only does this apply to start times, but also returning from lunch breaks. Tip number 2. Dress appropriately. Not every workplace requires a suit and tie, so whatever clothing is accepted should always be neat and clean. Flip-flops, shorts, or tank tops should be saved for the weekend. Refrain from wearing anything too revealing. Tip number 3. Stay positive. We all have our days, but we shouldn't take it out on our coworkers or patients in a healthcare setting. Leave the negativity at home and make the best out of your situation. Tip number 4. Watch your mouth. There's no place for swearing at work. Using bad language seems as if you have a limited vocabulary. Tip number 5. Offer to help colleagues. A true professional is willing to help his or her coworkers when they are overburdened. They aren't afraid to share knowledge, opinions, or simply an extra pair of hands. One person's success reflects well on everyone in the workplace. Tip number 6. Don't hide from your mistakes. Take responsibility. Don't be afraid to take ownership of your errors and do your best to correct them so you don't make the same mistake twice. Tip number 7. Don't lie. Dishonesty never makes anyone look good, whether it's lying on one's resume or calling in sick. A true professional is upfront and doesn't hide the truth. And lastly, tip number 8. Fight fair. It's inevitable that there will be disagreements in the workplace.
Related to making effective presentation. Okay, so now I'm asking my audience to make one small presentation related to COVID symptoms. How you are going to prepare small introductory presentation related to COVID symptoms, and it is related to task only. So you are going to make it right now. You are going to cover all the components what I have suggested to you people. Okay, is it okay for you? Or you are going to cover the components related to COVID symptoms based on small introductory presentation. How you are going to put your presentation in terms of components, like what all activity you are going to write down related to COVID symptoms, and making a small presentation, effective presentation related to task. Or we are asking to complete, and you can mail me, or you can mail to the research society, so they will mail me the particular presentation, and if some of the other points or some of the other guidance are needed, I'll provide you.
Dear participants, on your screen, there is one CV of Professor Dr. Gakik Shumavanian from Armenia. He is one of the prominent scientists. You can observe the way he has prepared his CV. For all the academicians and teachers, as per country higher authority educational guidelines, now any persons or any scholars, any professors can include Google Scholar profile, researcher ID, Publon's ORC ID, etc. link. So that can be very useful nowadays. And it will shorten your CV also. So no need to add full publications details in your file of CV or resume.
This meeting is being recorded.
Thank you, ma'am, for the wonderful session and gracing with your presence today. After successful participation of all 7 days with feedback, participants will receive the feedback form link today and e-certificate will be provided till 15th of April 2022. Thank you all and have a good night.